of been in self-discovery / full disclosure mode. And I've always been a deep thinker. I like to think.
I wouldn't go back too much farther.
I like to wonder about how things would be if I didn't think, which is kind of odd. I've been told by my parents on several occasions that I'm too smart for my own good because you can't question religion; it's against the rules.
Bullshit.
Right, I agree. I'm not saying those are my rules; those are your rules.
All right, I'm just telling them that they're bullshit. Vicariously.
Those, yeah. Vicariously. I told them to their face, though I have to use a little bit softer of language, we should say. So, this morning I texted Josh and said, what did I say? Something about missing.
Yeah, about missing.
I will always love that stupid bitch.
Yeah.
And he said, who? I said, well, my ex-wife. Like every spring and every summer I get this, well, I shouldn't say every, it's been all of 2 years, so 4 springs and falls together. But it's weird. It's really not at all what this is about.
Aside and moving on.
Right, moving on. Okay. I almost feels like this is more like an AA meeting because I'm not really reciting anything.
Shot in your hand.
Yes, with the shot in my hand. Okay. Have you ever seen?
You know, kind of like I saw somebody, they went into DUI court with a beer, you know.
Have you
Seriously?
On a good day, that'd be your
Family Guy
dad, but...
episode where Peter gets in the accident,
No.
and
They're all getting shit-faced.
yes, they're all getting drunk,
Yeah.
and then Joe comes in, and they're all dancing Mr. Booze and singing about Mr. Booze and how it's all bad, and then after they leave, Peter gets killed in a car accident, and Death shows him who he would be if he just drank a lot, and he was like this sloppy drunk, like, you're being an idiot. And the other, he's like this clean-cut salesman, and goes up to his family and he says, okay, it's HHH time, which one do you want? Hugs, handshake, or high five? He's like this complete douchebag.
Wow.
So
you don't want to be a douchebag, but you don't want to be a sloppy drunk.
right,
No,
exactly.
no.
Moderation.
Moderation.
Be responsible.
He's trying to figure out if what's printed on that label is responsible.
I can't read.
Who can read those goddamn things? Those are
You know
so-
what? I first began realizing that I was not 20 anymore when I found myself,
When you can't read.
no, not this. When I found myself either reading a book or
We're in
something,
the middle of intelligent stuff.
and like the
Ooh,
size
you
of the
got
font
good
changed, and I had to do all these. I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna be doing this. It's not good.
3-0.
Big 3-0.
It's your Saturn return.
Okay.
I have a book for you.
All right, hey, books.
Mitch,
Woo!
life. Tell us about life.
Life. Ever since I was about, I don't know, about this big, I always had questions about food. Why? I was a why kind of person. Well, why? Well,
Because.
just because it is. Why is the sky blue? Because God said so. It doesn't really work for perfect things, but I was always as I say on my, as of yet, not blogged blog, say that I am a recovering ex-right-wing fundamentalist, and after I went through recovery mode, I actually found that I really was 180 from that. I thought maybe it was just sort of a phase of trying to find out where I was. That wasn't it. I was married in July of 2006, and she really, after when we were married, and actually a little before that, we were getting into alternative religions, earth-based religions, paganism, etc., etc. After we divorced, she kind of kept going that way, and I didn't. I went into science, philosophy. Currently, I call myself an atheist. But when I really started getting into the self-discovery mode, it was, I don't know, I guess I've always been there, but I really decided to just, go all in about a year and a half ago. And figured out actually know some more people, so this is more of a motivation than I expected. I've always had a bit of confusion about my own personal identity. Because, I was raised, you're either a Republican or Democrat, you're either male or female, you're one of two things. You're either a Christian or you're a Satanist. I mean, it was a very black and white world that I lived in, that I was raised in. But obviously it's not. Nothing is that plain cut.
He's gonna take the whole shot now.
Liquid courage. Yeah.
I'll be looking.
You need a chaser is what you need.
Yeah. Not a big fan.
He needs a rinse.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Open.
Mm-hmm. You get the balls.
So anyway, not being that generous, huh?
Well, I could get myself another one.
I could get me another one. I'll give you half of what I've already done.
I just started drinking.
I know, it's pretty cool. So, I guess as I was going through this, I started to realize, probably when I was, 18 or 19, that, life wasn't, there's a straight line and you're either on this side or this side of any of the pick 1,000 subjects. You can't be, it's not that clear cut. And several years ago, actually, when we were married, my wife and I would have interesting conversations. She'd say things like, hey, there's this cute boys' school, and I'd just grin. I'd be like, why don't you bring them home? And, of course, it never happened, but it was just a topic of conversation for pillow talk, etc. And probably about, 8 months ago, I'm always surfing on the internet, always reading different things, always learning about different things, constantly. I first discovered, I've had several gay friends, and whatever, everybody does at this point in time, it's not so rare anymore. But I was like, that's almost right, but it's not. It was just something that just didn't strike me as quite right. And as I kept reading and learning, I thought, definitely not a lesbian, because I guess you gotta be a woman to do that. Bi, no, that doesn't quite work. And then I got to the T. That's when it all clicked. And that's when I realized and have started to, that's when I started to realize that, hey, you know what? I guess there really is a whole lot more to life than A or B. There's A through Z. There's not just two options. There's hundreds or millions even. Maybe even as many choices as there are people. And so, probably about 6 months ago, I finally came to the conscious realization that I am one of a fairly rare group of people, I suppose. Uncommon, at least.
Not that
No, but...
uncommon out here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
In the Bible Belt.
we're actually the, I don't know, what are we?
Northern
North
Bible Belt.
Coast.
Bible bra.
Yes. Right. There's a podcast.
That was beautiful. That was perfect.
There's a podcast in Michigan. They actually call Michigan the class Fun America's Bible Bra. So there you go.
Wow, the Bible bra.
Yeah.
Where's the Bible bra?
It's more like mini layered blouse so that you can't see it and be tempted.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But, yeah, probably about a month or 5 weeks ago, I was talking to my therapist, and I said, remember when we first started meeting, and he said something about only we'll give you therapy at some point, or, if you need, like, conversational therapy rather than just here's some pills, we can arrange it. So I found the impression about a month ago. And started talking to a therapist, and she actually says she doesn't even work specifically with gender diverse people or gender non-conforming individuals specifically, but she even has a half a dozen clients that are transgender, several going both ways, some going male, female, others female to male. It's interesting because in a sense it's really lifted like a heavy weight off of me, because it's a realization of, wow, I finally get what all of the inner turmoil, stress, and there's just something about me that I just don't understand. And once I finally got my finger on it, it was a real liberating feeling. The only thing that kind of counters that even a little bit is the fact that I live in my parents' house. And
Welcome to hell.
yeah, hell doesn't have to. Hell happens before you die. In fact, if death is anything,
You imagine there's no heaven or hell below us, man. It's all right here.
it's not at all what I had scripted to do. I mean, the topic is, but I have a different way of going with it.
Just keep babbling, maybe you'll get there.
We're a pretty non-judgmental group of people.
No, I understand
think
that,
you can
but
say whatever you want.
I'm just dabbling, and I'm not really sure what I want to settle on, and I don't really want to take over the.
You're kind of our last performer, so
For the most part.
for now.
Yeah.
For now.
Now.
So take your time. Plus, there's plenty of time.
We got all night, man.
I got work day in the morning.
So I got your luck.
Plenty of
I got a
time.
husband to go be a wet nurse too.
I have to work in the morning too, but I'll be fine. I'm only 20 minutes from home. I can sleep on the way to work. That's perfect. No, I won't be. I'll be.
Says something for being unemployed and poor, don't it, Maggie? It's got nothing to do tomorrow.
Right, let's think about this. I wanted to go on a little soliloquy about.
No, it's not bad. Is that it?
No.
Yeah.
It is. She'll be back here.
Is
It's
it right there? Is that it?
There's one of them.
No, how about that? I guided you to it without even knowing.
You did.
No, trust me, we wouldn't.
Yeah. What do you thought?
Yeah.
You don't need to connect to the internet, do you?
No.
I'm not sure what's working and isn't on my computer.
It's Ed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power man.
Booby juice. Booby juice rules. Yay, booby juice.
Booby juice.
Booby juice is the elixir of life.
You're looking at
I
it.
guess it's.
drinking it doesn't die.
Help your immune systems.
You're right, he does look like Charlie Brown.
Doesn't he? He's
Yeah.
just delicious.
I see it.
I want to eat him.
He's evil. I can see it. None of you can see it, but he
That's
is evil.
because
He looks like more Charlie Brown than Charlie Manson, I'm sorry.
How about this? By the time I'm done with him, he will be evil. I will evilify your child.
say rats. Say
Okay,
rats.
is that playing or is that recording or not?
Yeah, it's recording.
It's wasting its time right now.
Yeah.
Okay, there's plenty of room on that 16 gigabyte card.